In 1691, Dracula's castle arose. Monsters and demons plague the earth, and one man journeys to stop this threat. Enter Simon Belmont, a badass vampire hunter who makes Van Helsing look like a pussy. Armed with a powerful whip known as the Vampire Killer, Simon sets off to slay Dracula and save Transylvania. And that's the start to the original Castlevania. Man, do I love this game. I've played it more times than I can count. I got into Castlevania much later than I did other franchises, and boy, I didn't know what I was missing. I'm very glad that my first Castlevania game was the first Castlevania game. The game is your standard 2D side-scroller. Simon can walk, he can jump, and he can attack. But he actually has two methods of doing so. His main weapon is, of course, the Vampire Killer. This powerful whip may start out as leather, but can be upgraded to a chain and even be given an extension. In addition to his whip, Simon has a variety of sub-weapons he can use as well. The axe can be thrown in an arc above Simon, perfect for taking out airborne enemies. The knife is the simplest weapon. Simon throws it straight ahead. It has great speed, but strength is sacrificed for it. The holy water is thrown on the ground, and freezes any enemy it comes in contact with in place. Highly recommended for the fight against Dracula's second form. The cross is my personal favorite. It acts as a boomerang, which is perfect for taking out multiple enemies at once. Rosary beads kill all on-screen enemies, although it's a one-time usage. And finally, the stopwatch freezes all on-screen enemies, perfect for those difficult boss battles. However, it costs a lot of hearts to use. Oh yeah, I should probably mention that. You know how in most games grabbing a heart will restore your health? Not in Castlevania! Hearts act as your ammo for sub-weapons, while health comes in the form of roast chicken you can find in walls. I'm not really sure it's healthy to be eaten that, Simon, but whatever. These are very scarce, but when you do find one, it's absolutely worth it because this game will kick your ass. Castlevania is one of those series that has a reputation for being tough as nails. You will die. A lot. I gotta say though, Dracula's castle is pretty cool looking. All the environments are interesting to navigate and you have cool backgrounds, even if the clock tower does look like it's flipping you off. And while we're on presentation of the game, let's talk about one of the most important parts of any Castlevania game, the music. Castlevania as a series has some of the best music in all of gaming. Just take a listen to these kick-ass tunes. So after traversing through 5 brutal levels and even killing Death himself, not sure why he's working for Dracula, but alright, it's finally time for the endgame. The clock tower is easily the hardest level in the game, making it a good candidate for the last one. I mean hell, they even brought back the first boss of the game as a normal enemy this time. But once you make it through here, it's time to take on Dracula himself. He'll teleport around the room shooting fire at you, and after a few whips to the head, he transforms into the Cookie Monster, and the final battle begins. My advice? Just spam holy water. Spam holy water until he's dead. Once Dracula's defeated, the castle crumbles and credits roll. Wait. What? Is this a joke? These can't be, like, legitimate credits, right? This has got to be Simon Belmondo? And that was the original Castlevania. A fantastic game that's full of challenge, but this wasn't the only game released in 1986. Another Castlevania was released a month later for the MSX2 under the name Vampire Killer. How was it? Well, let me put it this way. Have you ever wanted to play the original Castlevania except with clunky controls, garbage level design, and a bunch of cryptic bullshit no one's expected to figure out? Yeah, I didn't think so. This game is full of endlessly looping levels that go on forever until you find a key in some ridiculous place no one would expect to look. I'd suggest staying away from this and just playing the original Castlevania. And speaking of cryptic bullshit, come back tomorrow when we talk about the black sheep of the NES trilogy, Castlevania 2: Simon's Quest. See you then.